Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. We just went over 20,000 this morning, and that's making it work. Thanks to all you guys. Thanks to all you guys. I really appreciate the support. The channel's doing great. Last week I was in a grumpy mood. Things were going kind of rough and I was complaining too much. But you know what? Some people seem worried that I'm going to stop doing videos, but I'm not. You know, you have ups and downs, good days and bad days. Everybody does. I try to put on a happy face. Some days it's harder than others. Welcome to a day in the shop. We're going to get this place opened up, see what we got going on. What we'll do is we'll put some clips in right here so you'll have a good idea what to expect today. 2016 CTS. Looks like a limited going by the wheels. We got crystal clear skies you can see behind me. Beautiful morning. It's about 74 degrees. Tiny bit muggy, not too bad for Central Florida. It's been, this summer's actually been pretty mild. I see people complaining about the heat all over. I hope everyone's okay and it's not really that hot. Some people, you'd think it was 140 degrees in Vermont, but anyway, here it's been in the low 90s in the afternoon and in the middle 70s in the morning. Humidity's probably a little high, but it's actually been a pretty mild summer so far. I probably shouldn't say that, it's not over yet. Anyway, let's finish getting the shop opened up, get in there and get started doing our best to have some fun and learn a thing or two. Stay tuned. $63,818 loving miles. This car is actually in very nice shape, no kidding. Try not to show pictures in the dash and stuff, but this here is a very fancy Cadillac 2016 CTS with a high horsepower 2-liter turbo 4-cylindrical, and it's just something about a pulley noise. I don't hear a pulley noise. I didn't drive it, full disclosure, so I'm gonna have to take it for a drive, I guess. All I hear is the mechanical fuel pump. You know, this has a electric fuel pump in the tank, pushes fuel up here, and then the mechanical fuel pump is driven by the camshaft, and it steps up the fuel pressure for the direct injection, because they require 500-600 psi to 8,000 psi in some cases. So the mechanical fuel pump's the way they do it, just like on a diesel basically, but it's gasoline. Anywho, I'm gonna go take this thing for a drive, I think, because I don't hear what she's talking about, and then we'll come back and we'll go over what we found. Gonna get like an 8 on the love rating, maybe a 9. This thing's actually really nice. Low mileage, 60-something thousand miles, but the only thing I hear is like a tire noise, like a whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? And the steering wheel is not straight. So, tire and alignment type deal. They look pretty good without it up in the air all the way. Let's lift it up the rest of the way. These tires look pretty good. There's a screw in that one. Have to check all the air pressure and see if that thing's leaking. I don't want to pull it out yet. Back tires don't look so good. See all this chopping? It's kind of strange. They're dry rotted and kind of chopping on this outer edge. There's chunks missing out of them and stuff. Very strange. So I don't know if this is a damaged tire, and maybe it's what I'm hearing. The dry rot, when you start seeing these cracks, the tire's going to make a little noise. So you either deal with the noise or you replace your tires. Just about on the inspection board, not quite. It's been running a little bit underinflated. See the inside treads look a little better than the outside. Not a whole bunch, just a little bit. Just means they're not quite checking the air pressure as often as they should. This is touching here. So I'm guessing someone probably rotated these tires recently, and that's what they hear, because that's all I hear is that little bit of whoop whoop. 2 rear tires and a wheel alignment is what I'm going to recommend in this car. I don't see anything else wrong with it. Everything's pretty good. No oil leaks. 60,000 miles on a GM. Shouldn't be leaking oil yet. It's bounced off some stuff. See if they want to mess with that at all. This one's missing, so they actually help a little bit with gas mileage, believe it or not. All right, let's go see what they want to do, and we'll let you know. turbo.
Again?
I didn't hear it in the turbo.
Let me do it right now.
I just heard woo!
That engine here looks like it's going pretty crazy.
Do it again. Something is shaking in the engine. The belt tension is bouncing with it, but it doesn't. I don't think that's the problem. You can see the tensioner bounce. I tried holding the tensioner and I can't fucking hold it from doing it. Right on the money. It sounds like a chain noise to me, but I'm going to take this serpentine belt off. It's pretty easy. We'll pop it off and run it again to make sure, but it sounds like the timing chain tensioner is bad, so it's not keeping tension on the chain inside.
Yeah.
Probably just got a bunch in the back of my head. But there it is. You mostly got to get it off the crank so it doesn't try to do anything silly. We'll run it again, see if it still does it. So now it's not going to be turning the water pump, so I can't run this for long. I also don't want to have the timing chain come apart, since I suspect that's what the noise is. We've got to be careful about that. Got to be careful about showing people's faces. Maybe it is the tension. Let's put it back on and see. That'd be cool for them. Way less expensive. All right, it's back on. I wonder how much tension it takes before the tensioner bottoms out. Because if the tensioner bottoms out on the stop, it'll make that rattle noise. It's hard to tell. I know if the noise comes back, that's what we're going with. That didn't sound good. Okay, it needs a belt and a tensioner. Could be even the alternator pulley. I just realized it has a clutch in the alternator. That's very strange. The belt came apart. I'm gonna take this tensioner loose to change the belt. Anyway. I know one thing, it ain't going anywhere without a belt at least. I'm pretty sure I had that on all these pulleys. I'm hoping it's not the alternator, because that's also a possibility when you should slip in one direction. I'm gonna have to make sure we make a note about that. We can change those pulleys. I have the tools to pull those pulleys off the alternator, but they're usually really tight. We could just put a clutch on the alternator too. Now that the belt broke, I could put a belt on and put it all back together and listen. But I did think, I thought I heard the noise coming from up here, which is very strange. I'm confused. What are you gonna do? It's slow today, so I'm thinking maybe a new belt, put it all back together and see. Make 100% certain where the noise is coming from. Because these clutches on these alternators go bad all the time. Chryslers, they're really big on, but I haven't done a GM one because of the noise yet. Maybe this will be the first. Two belts here. We're going to pop this in, run it some more. Once you loop that belt under the tensioner, you're good to go. Alright, settle down. There's a little pin on the back of the tensioner. Make sure you put it in the right place. Make sure the belt's not getting pinched.
Make sure it's the right one.
Again? One more time. You wait a second. Yeah, because he doesn't want you really revving it too much, but it's making a ton of noise.
You know what they call that? That concept? It originally started with the
I'll shut it off just real quick. I'm going to pop the belt off.
anytime you have a box inside of a box, so it goes smaller, 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 you can pull it and connect to the boxes. That looks like it. Perfect. Just hit the bingo.
Keep it right there for you, is that fine?
Yeah, leave it right there.
All right, fire it up. See what happens. All right. No noise, right? You didn't hear it. I don't hear it. That's with the belt off, yeah. All right. Maybe even though the spring feels like it has good tension, maybe it's just weak. Very odd. We've been doing this with the AC on. We're trying the AC problem now just to see if that might be the cause. It is a Cadillac with 60,000 miles on it, so. It's on right now. I think off's in the center of the panel. That's the AC compressor. Yeah, that's the AC compressor. Oh, hello. All right. We just happened to shut the AC off and we heard, so now it's got more expensive, sadly. We got us a taco alignment. Looks like a limited going by the wheels. I bet you it says limited right on the fender here. Door or whatever. There it is. Boom. Body shop wheel alignment. Ooh, someone has been wailing on a skunk in here. Ooh, man, my pupils are dilated already. It's too late for me. I only wish you guys are here to enjoy it with me. Check engine lights on. Track off is on because the track off goes off when the check engine light's on. Plus there's a button for it. You can turn it on and off. 107,941 smoky miles, dude. Holy crap, man. Got a snack. I am I'm gonna have the munchies when we're done, I'll tell you that right now. I think Joe's finally coming off the alignment rack. We're gonna pull this thing in there. It should be a quick wheel alignment. I think he said the steering wheel is slightly off. The body shop worked on it a while ago and accidentally delivered it without bringing it over here for the wheel alignment part. So let's get it caught up. Me personally, I try to put these so they don't block the ramps too much, but that's all right. I don't even use them because this lift is so level. Vehicles don't roll on it. Still got to be careful though. This thing needs tires really bad. Holy moly. Maybe he's a race car driver and he likes slicks. I don't know. 2017. Look at that nice pretty paint. It looks like it's just came from the body shop. What are they talking about? Not my concern. Let's do an alignment. I'm sorry, it's not in park. Will only be a minute. This is the 18-inch tire version. All limiteds have 18-inch tires, I believe. This generation, anyway. Gotta wait for everyone to finish walking by, and then we can go ahead and do our alignment. Gotta go to the back wheels, which is kind of hard to see from back here. But when I'm at the center of the plate, I'll be about the right spot. Put my brake pedal depressor on, and we'll do a caster sweep. We're giving this a love rating of 2, by the way. If it was older, I'd give it a better rating, but it's fairly new, and it reeks, man. I know one thing, I won't have to worry about glaucoma today. I got more where that came from. Don't worry, we're just getting started. Look how far that wheel's off. He's right, the wheel is off. Alright, let's jump down there and see what it looks like. First I'm going to put it straight, and we're going to put the wheel lock on it. The steering feels nice and snug, so it shouldn't be too big of a concern. Oh, that's nice. Everything's green. Show bar graphs. That should be a piece of cake. Let's see here. Watch your arm on the lift, that'll hurt. Don't be a big crybaby about it. Everything will be okay. I want to go in almost 1 degree exactly. So we'll back this off. I'm guessing that's 1 degree. Let's see. 15 doesn't fit on it. 16's too big. What do I do? Oh, I was off just a hair. We're close though. Look at that son of a gun. We're gonna get in the center while we're at it, right? Take your hands off the wheel to fire up your bong. You might go off the road if the wheel's not dead center. So we'll get everything as green as we can just to keep it safe. I don't have a problem with the marijuana, but when your car stinks of it, that means you're doing it while you're driving. It's the same to me. It's the same as having a beer in your hand while you're driving. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys tell me in the comments. Can you smoke pot and drive and it's not a big deal, but you can't drink and drive? But that's a big deal. I don't know. I think it's both or neither myself, because both are impairments. This one we're going out. One thing we know we got to do is lock it down. No matter what our opinions are about all kinds of things, locking our lock nuts, we can all agree on that 100%. I mean, it just doesn't get a lot better than that. I would like to see a 1/10 of caster variation to the left, but it's got 3/10 variation of camber to the left. Well, it shows 2, but it's almost 3, and 1/10 to the right on caster, so we'll be good. This thing's going to go smooth as glass on the highway, and it'll be pretty good around town because we have just enough variation to the left. Verify my wheels locked nice and straight. Got it in park now, so we can take all our contraptions off of here. We're good to go. Heads are marked where they go on our stands. We take my printouts on the dash, hit reset for the next guy, because we're conscientious to our fellow employees, and see what's next. Look at this, I get back from lunch and we're doing the compressor. I just got to get this refrigerant out of here. I don't want to save a service record. I connected both hoses. Time to rock and roll. Refrigerant out. I relocated the fan because engine heat is blowing on me from the fan. So now I got it towards the outside door, but I'm hearing this incessant backup alarm thing. It's annoying me down there. It's got to be good for you. Well, Joe is too, so. I don't. He's putting a backup camera in or something, and he's got it in reverse the whole time for like an hour and a half. I don't understand. Oh, by the way, they brought me a belt tensioner too. I guess we're doing that. I'll roll with it. It's not up to me. I took the old one out. I'm gonna wait and put it in till in case it's easier to get the compressor out without it there. Two different size screws, you turkeys. Three different sizes. I just towed that Ford Ranger and I'm like, wow, we're getting a lot of old Ford pickups lately. And then I turn around while I'm doing my AC compressor and Rob pulled that one in. People are putting them back on the road, I think, probably because new trucks are so expensive. I'm compromising. What did someone say? I forget what it's called. When you compensate. That's it, I'm compensating. That's what someone said. It's not because you just like a nice truck, it's because you're compensating for something. Oh, people are awesome. What size Torx is that, you know? I know, it's a tiny one. How about that? Like a 15 or so? I took this out of the way thinking I might see something from here, but cross member's in the way. But maybe it has to come out for this to come out anyway. I know one thing, this wasn't going to fall out accidentally. It's like rebuilding an engine, getting all these under trays off. Well, my assumption that it would come out the bottom is wrong. I could remove the rack maybe, but then there's some cooler lines above it. I looked in the procedure finally, and it says to remove the wheel well liner, take out the charge air cooler tube, and then you remove it from the top, which I didn't see a whole bunch of room. But that's okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna take this piece of the wheel well liner out first, instead of the whole thing, and see what we gotta do. Could get messy. Oh, that didn't really help a lot. Alright, I'll just keep going, that's fine. Have it your way. Push pins. Little Torx. I say little. Maybe it's not that little. 15, that's what I thought. You're in a feng shui fender. The only way to do all that is get this air box out and get that clamp on the tube. You turkeys. Look how many screws and clips I took out so far. I haven't got to the compressor yet. We're still going. Maybe if I take this frame rail out with a Sawzall, it's right there. You take this off. Take this air box out just so you can get down there a little better. A little at a time. The labor guide says 2.7 hours, so should be easy, right? Use a pry bar so it won't hurt my hand. Didn't work. I took the upper compressor bolt loose, and I gotta get these. There's a bolt here and a bolt on the other side of this inlet or outlet from the turbo to the intercooler. I'm hoping once that tube's out of the way, you can kind of squeeze this compressor out of here, but we'll see. Might take this line, this hose out of my way too, maybe move this bracket, anything I can do to get in there. I'm trying not to disturb the cooling system if I can avoid it. I'm having such a hard time getting them from above. That, I don't know if you can see it up there, but I think I can get I can use some quarter drive stuff maybe, because they're not crazy tight. I don't know, I guess the 3/8 will fit, but I'm tempted to just take these bolts out of the rack, take the steering coupler off and lower the rack, but I know these hoses are going to be in my way, and that's going to be messy. Moving the rack would give me a lot of room though, man. Decisions. I'm kind of into it now, I guess. I've already committed to the way the manufacturer recommends doing it, or I should be committed for doing it the way the manufacturer recommends it. I don't know. One of the two. Oh, so I have to go back. Alright. That's the easy one. That's not so bad. After you dance a while with that guy, this doesn't want to come out of this little catch, so I kind of had to push it back and out at the same time, and then pull the other two out at the same time. It's easy. That's 4 things you got to do at once. But if you just got an enormous amount of talent and you're the best YouTuber there is, piece of cake. I just had him stop by and help me out. Smelling some of that sticky icky. Happens every time. All of a sudden you're like, what's that smell? Oh my goodness. Let's see here. How do you get the tube out of there? We gotta take the AC compressor out to get the tube out? I don't I got the charge air cooler back to about here by wiggling and jiggling, and I'm gonna try to take it all the way out because it might be harder to get back in. I'm gonna try to get these manifold hoses off. There's an electrical connector in there somewhere. GM, you've fallen so far. It used to be one of my favorite brands to work on because stuff made sense. But while I'm working on this, I can't help but think this is a big giant sedan with a 4-cylinder, and there's no way to get the compressor out of it. I don't know. I shouldn't be surprised. Bill and Bob, they got a good sense of humor. Why would you want to make it easy to get to? I can't even see the upper bolt, or maybe that's the only bolt. I think that might be a 1-bolt manifold like other GMs maybe? That would be cool. I gotta get that to come off the compressor in the back there. There it is. Ah, that wasn't so bad. All I gotta do now is see if I can see the electrical connector on the other 2 bolts. This lower bolt here should be pretty easy. I just go right from here. It's the back one that's a little bit of a pain in the patootie, as they say. You can see it right there, right? It's straight up. The steering shaft is directly in the way, which, that's cool. I can deal with that. I think if I go from like here or somewhere around here or here, I might be able to get it. I'm not really sure. If I just take the subframe and the rack out of here, it'd be real easy. Then I'll do a wheel alignment, evac and recharge, 2.7 hours. What's the problem? All right. Listen here, man. From there, I can see the stud, and I think the stud's going to have to come out too, because the compressor's not going to go over that far with the steering shaft in the way. I think next time I'm going to definitely try moving that rack out of the way, because this is all pretty silly at this point. But coming up on 2 hours in, I don't have it out yet, so it leaves me 0.7 to put it back together, which would encourage me to leave stuff loose and stuff and just do it really quick and make my time. The motor mount, kind of, well, it's no easier to get the motor mount out of the way than it is to do all the other stuff they want you to do. It doesn't even mention any of this. It shows in the procedure to take the 3 bolts out and the compressor comes out, and it says to pop this tube out of the way real quick first, and it comes right out. That's literally what it says in the instruction. So yeah, feeling a little discouraged, but we'll get it. Alright, if we do swivelly deep hits the steering shaft. Try it from over here. Probably will be a little better, but I probably won't go at much of an angle. Maybe if I take this knuckle off of here, because that's right about where my extension wants to go. Let's see. Steering shaft is perfectly in the way. And if I have to disconnect the steering shaft to do this, I'm going to be really sad that I didn't move the rack. I mean, like, extremely disappointed that the instructions don't say to move the rack. Okay, if you take this hose off these brackets, you can kind of get in there a little bit easier, and you can see it because the hose is also blocking your vision. So that's off. Now I gotta get that stud out of there too. As if we don't have enough studs around here already.
I'm actually a inverted stud.
Inverted stud, opposite of a stud.
Yes, but it's okay. You got enough of both.
More like a nail than a stud. One more bolt. I got my little quarter drive with a 5mm socket on the stud. And you just got to break it loose. That's not so bad. It comes right out. What's the big deal? We're going to screw the hell out of this thing and leave that easy to get to bolt for last. Now the compressor's still tight, so this shouldn't be too much of a struggle to get this out. That flicker is my fingers in front of the light while I unscrew my stud. Sometimes you want to be screwed, sometimes you want to be unscrewed. Right now we're unscrewing. And there's a lot of threads apparently, because I'm sitting here flapping my gums and it's taking forever. A little troublemaker. That was the hardest part of the job so far. That and the 20 minutes I wasted contemplating how to go about doing the whole thing in the first place. I said beat it. One more electrical connector up top. I pulled this hose way out of my way for just such an occasion. Now I'm going to pour the oil out of this, see about how much we have. So the new one goes in with about the same or slightly more. This has got 3.4 ounces in it. This had very little oil in it. So we're leaving it 3.4 ounces. We should be good to go. That's going to be an oil plus. So we'll be all right. I don't see any sparklies in the oil, oddly enough, which is good. Because the customer doesn't want to do anything but the compressor, which I'm not sure how that affects the warranty, but that's not my concern. They handle all that up front. My job is to do the repair the best I can with the equipment or parts I'm given, like putting new gaskets on. These are the old ones. And see how it goes. New gaskets are nice, ready to go. You put this thing in there. The longer bolt goes in the top, the shorter one in the front, bottom, and then the stud will be able to get in once I get these threaded in. I'll drop these plugs back in there, just keep dirt out of it the best we can. There's tie wraps on this line. I'm not sure why they did that, but they really cut into your hand while you're trying to maneuver this stuff in place. I'm tempted to cut them off and reposition them, because they're like right in the worst possible spot. Someplace that only Bill and Bob would find entertainment value. Like a lot of things, I can't see where I'm at. There it is. A little further back, a little further down. Alright, electrical connector on the bottom, electrical connector on the top's in. All my bolts holding the compressor up loosely. Got my push pin for the harness back where it goes. So I'm going to tighten these bolts, and then we'll get that manifold hose assembly on there, get that all buttoned up so the AC system's not open anymore. This is just I can't believe how a giant sedan with a 4-cylinder has no room. That's something I never thought would be possible. Now, since I got the stud this way, Let's try tightening that 13 on the back here with a ratchet instead of trying to go through with a long extension. Sometimes you make it more complicated than it needs to be. Alright, I think I get the rest from the bottom. Well, let me get this, this goes down there. Where's this hose? There it is. I shoved it over here. That one's nuts. I try to always tighten them up as I go too. If you put all the nuts on and try to go back and remember, I find it doesn't work for me. Alright, finished getting that duct on. The other bolt I can't get to from the top, so I gotta do it from the bottom with an extension and a little bit of luck.
I was like, look, my toe was out, everything's out, it's wrong. What do you want us to do? Like, we got the toe?
If you look at that, if you look at the driver's side, it's got more tread than the tires. The driver's side of the car looks like it's bounced off a guardrail or something.
Oh, dude, that rim is.
The trick is you want to definitely get this all the way on, because otherwise under boost it goes pop, and then you start getting boost codes. So you definitely got to push it in until this relaxes. All right, the belt's on there. Everything else is looking good. I think I'm gonna get the machine on this thing vacuuming down. Everyone's starting pulling doors down and stuff. Ah, man, this thing's vacuuming down. Ah, Butterfingers. Time to get the old project truck in here and finish closing the shop up. See you in the morning. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. Really appreciate it. Enjoyed your company. Hope you got something from it. Torque the like button, subscribe, join the 20,000 other subscribers. It's amazing. I never thought I'd get over 200. So really appreciate the support. Let's keep it going. Share the video around if you know someone who might be interested in automotive related content. Don't forget too, I got the project truck videos, I got some tool review videos, all kinds of other things. The day in the shop is what we do mostly, and the other stuff is just because if I find something interesting, I want to share it with you. So you get this project truck in here, get this thing closed up. Most importantly, I hope I see you in the next one, because you're awesome. Very expensive workbench.